What's up YouTube? It's me, Jess, and I'm an opera singer. Today's video is going to be a performance analysis of Miss Tori Kelly singing MIssin U live on The Late Late Show with James Cordon. Let's go.
Welcome back here with the television debut of her brilliant new single, MIssin U, which is out right now. Please welcome the phenomenal Tori Kelly.
I remember better days. I'd be like, hey boy, come on, right around. And you did, you always met me there. We were young, we were dumb, yeah, we had a good run. But I'm a fairy sling out in the streets, deleting what you mean to me. Then you pop back in my mind. I go back in time. It was the perfect night.
Woo!
Kissing you was raining purple skies in my room, me and you. Ooh, I'm missing you. Ooh,
Okay, pause. I have not seen, I know she released a music video. I waited because I wanted to see and hear her doing this live. I'm more of a fan of analyzing live performances than I am music videos. And wow, she looks so different from the previous Tori Kellys we have gotten in her previous album releases and even EPs. This vibe is giving me late 90s, early 2000s, just like a true old school tribute to R&B, but with her own twist, which is so nice to hear because her voice is perfect for that genre. Her voice is honestly so great in the other things she's done too, especially gospel. I feel like this is home for Tori Kelly's voice. It's such a vibe. And you don't hear this vibe really in music anymore. There's a lot of emphasis on, if I dare say, like this cookie cutter, a lot of things sound the same type of pop. So I'm appreciating this vibe. Now let's talk about the range because it kind of skyrocketed out of nowhere in the chorus. And Tori Kelly, quite a few of Tori Kelly's songs actually do that, where she'll kind of sit in her mid to lower register in some of the verses and then just pop up out of nowhere in the chorus. Then again, there are lots of other songs that don't do that either. But the point is, this song definitely has a build. And a build you have to be very well prepared for because of how high it shoots up. Looking at the first verse, the very first word, which is I, sits on an F4. The verse kind of hovers around there, dips a bit, kind of goes in the middle, but doesn't really go too high just yet. But it does go pretty low. When she gets to the words, and you did, and you did, and you did, you always met me there. The word met, you did, and you did, and you did, you always. Actually, the second syllable of always, along with the word met, dips all the way down to a C3. That is extremely low, especially for a soprano. So within just these three lines, we have heard so far a range of an 11th, which is quite the distance considering where it sits in the range. Considering this is in F major, we are hearing respectively the tonic on the word I, which would be F, and then the dominant, which would be C, in the second syllable of always and also on the word met. I appreciate the way that she incorporated this low note too. This line in particular is actually all four of these lines within the first verse is pretty wordy. This, actually the second verse, all of it is kind of wordy. And you're kind of chewing and spitting through quite a bit of words to get through the phrase. And what is happening on this particular line where it dips down to the C3 is the acceleration of words is much quicker than what was happening just previously. And you did, and you did, and you did, you always met me there. And you did, and you did, and you did, you always met me there. Versus, I remember better days. That's a bit more slow. You get a little bit more of a longer duration note per syllable than when you get to this line.
I remember better days. I'd be like, hey boy, come on, ride around. And you did, and you did, and you did, you always met me there. We were young, we were dumb, yeah, we had a good run, but...
And speeding up the rhythm within this one line with the incorporation of the C3 helps ease the ear into that note a bit. It doesn't sound like it's crash landing into it, rather that it was just naturally kind of driving into that lower note given the pace of the overall line. Now let's talk about this line, I go back in time. This line comes right before the chorus where she jumps into her upper register. Looking at the two chords during this phrase, we get an A minor chord going to a G major chord, but she is singing an E over the G major chord, which technically would make it a 7 half diminished 7th chord in the key of F major. What I like about this particular line is the resolution. So she ends this phrase on an E. I go back in time. This note is an E, which is the leading tone to F. What's interesting about this particular phrase is ending on this note, E, the leading tone of the tonic of the key, is demanding of some sort of a resolution. And the way that she chooses to resolve it is by giving a slight break, it's ever so slight, in order to jump into the chorus.
Out in the streets, deleting what you mean to me, then you pop back in my mind. I go back in time, it was the perfect night.
Hearing the satisfaction of the perfect, let's say, tonic chord, which is 1, 3, 5, F, A, C, which she outlines immediately in the chorus. To hear that resolution in the upper voice with that amount of chest voice was really satisfying. I liked the break, the slight pause, and the transition. How much that transition played in that resolution to me and my ears was aesthetically really pleasing. One thing I want to point out is the two times she sang an A4, to me and my ear it was slightly underpitched. And there are several factors that can contribute to this happening. One could just be you just didn't hit the note, or it could be also on the technical side. Given Tori Kelly's expertise, her range, and the amount of control she has on her voice, I'm going to err on the latter side, that it was actually a technical issue. I believe she is wearing, yes, from what you can see, she is wearing a mic. When you have a mic in one ear and then you're trying to listen to yourself and adding all of that audio and technical aspects of a performance, it can really play with what you perceive as sound. And sometimes the result of that is you might not hear yourself or the background music that you should be in tune with as well as you think you are. And what happens as a result is sometimes you are slightly underpitched. I don't fault this at all to the performer because those things are completely out of their control. I just want to point this out for listeners and performers out there who may find themselves in a setting like this. You've got to pay really close attention to how much feedback you are getting in one ear and how that is going to play on your perception of sound when going to sing live. So the two words where the A to my ear fell just slightly flat was on the words kissin' and rainin'. What's interesting about these two words is that on the first one, kissin', the A is repeated for both syllables. It was the perfect night. Kissin'. Those are both on A4s. Now what I think she might have also tried to do was kind of slide into the note, but For some reason, I think it would have just sounded better if it was just purely on that A4, just crystal clear. Then Rainin moved. Was raining? Yes. This is outlining that triad. The tonic triad F, A, C in the key of F major.
I go back in time. It was the perfect night. Kissing you was raining purple skies. In my room, me and you.
Hitting all of the notes with pitch accuracy within a chord is very important, and that especially goes with the third of this chord because it lays out the tone quality. If it's too flat, you could hear an F minor chord. Now, it might not be dramatic, but that can happen. Hearing that pitch perfect A4 within the chord makes it an F major chord, the tonic of the key. So to me in my ears, it would have been nice to just hear that A raised up a bit, but I understand that technical things happen and things happen in a live performance. Now, staying along in this chorus part, I love how she is getting up to that high note, which is a D5, and it's particularly hard on the word that she is singing, which is purple.
It was the perfect night. Kissing you was raining purple skies.
That is a hard word to sing on that high of a note with that much chest voice. It's just not a very forgiving vowel, and it would just be so much easier to sing that on like an ah, for example. But the way that she's just kind of skyrocketing up into that note with relative ease, even despite the, let's say, flatness of the A, is really nice. And her upper register with the amount of chest voice she gives is really, it's just so nice, and it's improved. I've been listening to Tori Kelly for years, since her first EP. Her range and even her vocal agility and just the things that she has done has improved so much. Granted, she started at a very high caliber. There are not many singers who have the vocal agility that she has and can execute many notes within a phrase the way that she can. So I have the utmost respect for her and her talent in that manner.
And you, ooh, I'm missing you. Ooh, here's that feeling you would bring. I miss the way that you would make my side bling and bling. I look at my fingers and think about rings. We had a good thing, but I'm off that sling. Out in the streets, deleting what you mean to me. Then you pop back in my mind. I go back in time. It was the perfect night. Kissing you was raining purple skies. In my room, me and you, baby. I'm missing you. Ooh, I'm missing you.
Oh my god! Yes. Okay, this whole vibe, like I said, is just bringing back nostalgia. Just so many moments of sitting in my room as a teen, listening to Brandy. This is giving me TLC vibes. Aaliyah. It's just paying so much tribute to all of those iconic artists that we just don't get the vibe really in music anymore. If we do, and there are other artists that are putting music out like this, and I'm just completely unaware, let me know in the comment section below. I have to give respect where respect is due. Tori Kelly has, in my opinion, some of the cleanest riffs and runs in the industry by far. It never seems like she struggles to get out any of those quick moving notes. It never seems like she has difficulty hearing what should be happening within a passage with a lot of notes. And it doesn't sound like any of them are difficult to get out within whatever range she's singing them in. That is not easy, you all. That is not easy at all. And I feel like this comes so naturally to her, something I'm genuinely envious of. I give props to the way she sprinkled riffs and runs throughout this performance. It wasn't too much. It didn't need to be too much. Is it me, or does this song kind of give like backup dancer vibes? I don't know. I've seen Tori Kelly live a few times, but I've never seen her with backup dancers. That just really hasn't been part of her marketing or her brand or her look. But maybe that could be something moving forward. I don't know. I'm genuinely just curious about who she is as a person and how these lyrics fit into whatever stage she's at in her life now, or when she wrote it, or what she was thinking about. I'm curious to know if she was thinking about someone else going through this experience and wrote for that person, or if this was her experience like back in the day, or I don't know, recently, and she is just kind of going through the motions and this is what came out. But I'm just curious to know, what are these lyrics inspired by? How do you write so well for something you might not have experienced? As someone who doesn't write music, I think that is extremely fascinating, and I would love, oh my God, I would love to watch a masterclass on that. Thank you for bringing back the old school vibes. Thank you for sharing your incredible talent and your voice with all of us huge fans. I'm a huge fan. I hope that the result of this single or album, I don't know what this is going to be, means that you will be singing live in some cities. If so, if you're in California, I will be there. If you liked all that you saw, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Comment down below with a white heart if you are a Tori Kelly fan. Lastly, make sure you check out the description box for ways you can keep in touch with me, get access to exclusive perks, and or take a lesson with me. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!